Welcome to the Comic Book Savant. Trying something a little bit different for the opening of this episode. This is going to be my non-spoiler review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just got finished seeing it, so when I cut back, you'll see me back in the studio going into the review. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back to the Comic Book Savant. I'm your host, James Harris. This episode, we're going to be doing a non-spoiler review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is Marvel Studios' 20th film release to date. And I could say right off the bat, this is definitely a really fun movie. This is definitely one you could take the whole family to go see and have a really good time. If you definitely enjoyed the first Ant-Man movie, you're definitely going to be in for more of the same type comedy and good character development you got from the first Ant-Man movie and Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's definitely a true sequel. This movie is shortly following up the events of Avengers Infinity War. Well, actually, as far as timeline is concerned, it falls right after Captain America Civil War, leading up to the events of Avengers Infinity War. So it kind of sandwiches itself in between some of the Marvel movies that have came already as far as timeline is concerned. So it fits in perfectly as far as that. And it's a continuation of a lot of things that were set up in the first Ant-Man movie. You got your logical progression with great performances. Again, Paul Rudd is coming back as Scott Lang. He does a really good job. Angelina Lilly reprises her role as Hope Van Dyne, and they really expand her role as, again, we see her fully functional as the Wasp in this movie. It was in one of the end scenes in the first Ant-Man movie is teased. We see that, we see the suit revealed, and we see her fully functioning as a hero, be it that it's been 2 years later since the events, roughly 2 years later since the events of the first movie and Captain America Civil War. So she's had some time in the suit. We see her very much come into her own. Peyton Reed is back as the director. I felt like he did a really good job with the first movie. If I have to do any type of comparisons, you hate to do that when you're looking at a sequel for a movie, when you're looking at a franchise of movies, especially a movie that you really liked. I feel like rating wise, I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. The original movie was somewhere around an 8.25 for me. So it's not as good as the original Ant-Man movie, but the movie, I will say this movie has some flaws. It's not a perfect movie by any means, but what movie is? But I still felt like it was fairly entertaining. It was a fun outing. One of the most lighthearted. It was a really good palate cleanser coming off the heaviness that was Avengers Infinity War and what we have to come down the road with Avengers 4, whatever that will be named. We still don't know what the title of that is going to be. And we don't know how Captain Marvel, which is the next movie that we'll be getting next year, right before Avengers Infinity War. So this felt like a good palate cleanser. Wasn't nearly as heavy. Definitely, if you're thinking about going to see this movie, make sure you stay to the end and you see all the end credit scenes. There are two. That's all I'm going to say about that. And just that it's a fun time. I've seen different people say different things online, different reviews. Some, are very critical of the movie. I feel like we get to a certain point that it's oversaturation of superhero movies, so to speak, out there. And so many people are quick to compare it to this movie and that movie. You really can't with the Ant-Man franchise. The first one was really a standalone kind of heist movie, and it stood on its own and was a good movie. Was it like the best MCU movie ever? No, but it was something different, and it works for what it is for that character. And I think that's what we need to focus on. Less comparing these superhero movies, because we're getting so many of them, to the last one that came out. Is just to the previous ones in the franchise, because that's the closest thing we kind of have to measure it against. Would I recommend going to see this movie in the theater? Yes. Again, is it my favorite Marvel movie? No. Is it in my top 5 even? No. Is it even in my top 10? Because now we're talking about 20 movies. I don't think so. It will be right outside of my top 10. If I'd have to do a top 10 list right now, looking at all 20 films, it probably would be right outside of my top 10. But this is definitely a movie that I enjoyed. I will get when it's on home video, and I look forward to watching it over and over and over again. It's great chemistry within the characters, the world building that they do, and it makes me look forward to seeing what is going to come next. They set up a lot of good things just in this Ant-Man pocket of the MCU, of things that I would like to see and characters I would like to see developed and taken further coming out of this movie. And I think that's what matters most. So again, if I look at this on a 10-point scale, I give it a 7.5. If you like this review and you want to see more movie reviews that I've done, comic book related movie reviews, I should say, definitely I will put up here. Oh, you should see an eye or a flag icon up here. I'll link to the playlist of other comic book movie reviews I've done on the channel. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell notification down below. That'll let you know when I drop new content. I pretty much release videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you will always should be able to find some new fresh content then. But if you click the bell notification, you will know for sure. Also, comment down below down in the video description, the comment section. Let me know if you've seen the movie yet. Please don't spoil anything for people that might be watching this review that haven't seen the movie yet. But let me know if you've seen the movie, if you liked it or not, if you agreed with my review or not. Some counterpoints below, but again, keep it non-spoiler. I always do, if you like the content that I do here, I also do an audio podcast by the same name, Comic Book Savant, where I will go into doing a spoiler review. You should see that. I will have a link to that episode down in the description box below, so you can find that if you've already seen the movie and you want to go a little bit more in depth, but keep it clean right here, so people that haven't seen the movie won't be spoiled if they're on the fence on if they're going to see the movie or not. Also, I have links down below. If you haven't seen the first Ant-Man movie or you want to pick that up, I have links down to everything that I'm discussing down below, so you can pick up the movie if you like to. I get a little kickback because it's an affiliate link, so it helps supports the channel. So if you feel so inclined to do that, definitely click down on the bottom. And again, can stay tuned to the channel for more great content. I do not just movie reviews, but television reviews as well as comic book reviews. I'm tied into everything in the world of comics and comics entertainment. So stay tuned to the Comic Book Savant for more of that content. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the movie.